basic skills you'll want to have down would be how to stop somebody using power and planted feet. So my front foot, left foot, right shoulder back, driving out with the hand. This way here, I like to hit with the palm, shoving, pushing. I'm going to rock as I come in with that. It's also going to be very high on the list of what some kind of an aggressor or attacker is going to throw your way at the same time. They may ball up their fist. I'm a little discouraging on something like this for beginner people. You could damage your fingers a little easily if somebody ducks their head into that punch. But a street slugger, they don't care about that. They may just ball up their fist, throw that thing across off this rear shoulder. If it's man-on-man type violence, man-on-woman type violence, sometimes they'll have their hand open on purpose. Show that and then smack down. Again, in this case, left side is forward, right power drive, coming across kind of triangularly with that impact. So that would be your basic skill that you'd want to know about and then also be able to defend against. Stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! I'm trying to maintain some space so that I can see what he's doing before he does it. If I'm too close, he could just pop me from there and I wouldn't have time. So I want to keep as much space as I can. When he fires that thing across, my hands come up from the center because I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I just see motion. Hand comes up from the center, attacks that arm. So it's real important that we pat ourselves up very well with that. For practice, I'm attacking the structure of his arm from there. He's going to do something. He's going to hit me or jump on to wrestle. I know that. So as soon as I've done that, stop it. I'm going to drive in. And the way I'm going to drive in is drop my hips even more stable. So I'm using my legs and arms and body to push up and drive that face backwards with that. So from my first couple of movements, stop it, right in there, here. He's going to do something next. So I'm driving up into the groin, up into solar plexus. If he's got a little tighter footwork, I may drive into the thigh here with that action. And the last piece, this hand here is going to cup the ear. You can even try it out. See that effect of that air pressure. Cupping the ear as I back away, slamming down onto the head. I'm staying ready. He may still be in the fight. There may be more I need to do. Or I check him for a moment, or I check to see that he doesn't have friends or cousins or other accomplices. Then I want to get out of there as quickly as I can. Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back. Stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back. This defense against this rear hand clubbing, pounding attack is a principle as well as a technique. Technique that's very important for you to get and make sure you've got for your self-defense, but also a principle. What if the attacker has something like a club? They've got this left side forward, they're reaching across, hitting down with this thing to knock out or slam with that. We can use the same basic defensive action because it's a similar principle to that cross-body slug. Stop it! 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 Stay back! Every one of these is a self-defense clash. The idea is neutralize the attack and get out of there, get to safety. Later, in some more advanced training, we'll show you what to do if you had to stay and I had to take control of this person or things didn't go the way we thought they were and they're coming back. All right, if they don't stay down, if they don't get back, we have to take the fight back to them. But we'll pay more attention to this in later levels of training.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Oh.
Sometimes what we like to do is, to help out with our students' coordination, is kind of put 2 pads in there. So it means the feeder I'm gonna have to be really focused on using both my hands here, just like I would in a confrontation. So my training partners here, here's the double padded hook punch defense. Stop, 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 stay back. Stop, 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 stay back. Stop, 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 stay back.
Potential problem we might have to deal with might be a problem coming off of this front shoulder. Someone's reaching out to grab, someone is striking us with a closed fist or even an open hand. Someone could be reaching out to grab hair, something coming straight in off this front shoulder. Could also be something we want to practice as a defender. I might need to be the one grabbing a hold of somebody or getting somebody to back away. So I might have to practice this for my own sake. Stop! 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 Stay back! Stop! 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 Stay back! So from this straight in shot, I'm moving out of the way, allowing myself to deflect, creating this opening where I can turn with my whole body, drive in with my body weight, staying crouched. From this point, I've got this opening low so I could grab or not, drive this knee straight up, shift myself so I'm around behind, and again another knee, and then getting some distance to end this conflict. Stay back, stay back, stop, 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 stay back. As the straight shot's coming in, this deflection is really just enough to make sure I'm safe. And as you can see, I'm hitting this a little sideways. What I want to avoid is knocking this down, which creates an opening for him to hit me. It's just enough to the side so I have my opening. I can come in here and clobber right to the side of the head, the ear. I can hit the corner of the eye. Whatever target seems available would work for me. As the straight shot's coming in and I'm tapping out of the way, I would like to be here around the elbow, a little bit past the elbow as my contact point. That just keeps me safe. I'm able to control his whole arm from here as opposed to controlling a piece of his arm. So as this comes in, I'm here, and that creates this opening. From here, I'm coming right over the top of my own arm to strike. I've still got this here to protect myself. I'm still covered, but that saves me some time as opposed to hitting and bringing this back and trying to hit from here. I think he might have an opportunity in there. So now as the straight shot comes in, I can put this together in a way that maximizes my speed and minimizes any chance of him stopping. Stop! 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 Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! A good shot for me would be right at the side of the thigh. That's likely how he's going to be positioned. Thinking about coming right up at this angle, mid-thigh, or possibly even right where the bikini line, right where the Speedo line would be, right up into the hip. This last knee, I'm positioned more behind him. This is going to come up possibly right into the tailbone to disrupt balance. And then from here, I can clear. Stop! 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 Stay back!
All right, here's the double lead punch defense. If I have enough pads, I always encourage people to utilize them. It helps with coordination, and it puts a little bit more chaos on this person because there's a lot of things that are flying around. So I recommend this for higher students. It gives them a great opportunity, or higher ranking students a great opportunity to kind of test themselves out, especially being the feeder, because we're breathing life into this. So if our knees are bent, Robert Hayes is going to do this exercise. Stop, 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 stay back. Stop, 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 stay back.
Another important tool you want to have in your arsenal is a good solid forward driving kick. You could hit with the bottom part of your toe or the tip of the toe if you had a shoe on. Or you could hit with the bottom heel, stamping if the target's a little bit more straight up. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! So how would we defend against a good, solid, fast kick coming straight up the center line? I don't think we can jump out of the way, or I certainly don't want to get my arms down in there. For the foundation, for the fundamentals, I'm going to have you kick the kick and then drive him back out of the fight. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back. As you're learning these techniques, the pieces themselves flow in a logical order, but you may end up working through them in a little different way than they're presented. For instance, I might be here and my other foot's forward, I can't clear this, I could use my front foot to stop it. Well, then that's going to have a different effect on the upper part of the body. I may hit and then kick to knock him out of the way. But can you see how the principles flow? And you can replace them in the whole scene so that your skills are broader, wider, and will cover a lot more possibilities. To practice the defense, you'll really want to use a lot of these padded targets. Otherwise, it's just too much potential or damage to the knee or the leg. You'll want to simulate it to some degree, but when you swing those targets in, people can really practice with that full stopping power. Stop. 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 Now it's important when we're doing these kicks to look up here, this part of my training partner. Stop. Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
Step in with my right foot and I grab the wrist, so it'd be right to right. I'm grabbing the wrist and pushing that down to where I could try to hit, to I could grab, pull this person in to control them, or grab and throw this person down would be some common threats that we're going to look at and evaluate here. But this key component as an attacker, when we're looking at an attacker, is me getting control of somebody, me pinning somebody down so that I can do something to them. Back off! Back off! Stop! 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 Stop it! Stop! Stay back! Back off! Back off. Stop, 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 stop. Stay back. My knees are bent already. My hands are in this position. I'm telling this person to stop it and stay back. They don't care. As they reach over and grab, one of the main things I want to do is bend my knees even more and make sure I get this sideways alignment. The reason for this is, number one, if he's pulling on me, it's going to be very difficult for him to move me. If my feet are facing forward, he pulls me. It's very natural for me to move this way because my knees are aligned with the direction he's pulling. So, most importantly, my hands are already up. I'm sinking my knees and becoming even more grounded. And my eyes are right on his chest, paying attention to where the threat is. A lot of times we can get so consumed by what's happening. This person is grabbing me, so I think this is the problem. When actually he'll be pulling me down and hitting me in the head. This is really the threat. So right now this isn't damaging me, it's not hurting me, so I want to make sure I'm stable to where this person is not able to pull me in and punch me, but where I'm at a position where they can't move me. Stop, back up, stop, 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 stay back. So after I've bent my knees and I've become stable, and I'm going to shift away from the threat. So as I shift, my knees are flexing even more, and I'm going to close my hand like I'm going to knock on a door. The key that we want to focus on is the back of the hand. Now right now we have pads on to protect ourselves, but if I knock on the back of my hand real hard, I mean, I got a big pad on, but try it at home. Knock on the back of your hand gently, and you'll feel that we can damage our hand very easily. It's designed to break up these bones on the top of the hand. So as I'm grabbed and become stable, I'm going to damage the back of the hand by swinging this in. I like to think about a circular motion rather than a one and then I retract and I hit again. That takes a long time. These are quick motions. So if I can think about a wheel, I'm shifting and already my arm is striking and coming back. So if we do this together, our knees bent, back is straight, I become stable. Now I'm going to use a voice command telling this person to stop it each and every time I hit. So if we do this together, we're going to do on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop, stop, stop it. Now I'm only using 3 as a reference point to make sure I get the repetitions to create the experience that I want for this person. Back up. Stop, 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 stop it. Stay back. Back off. Back off. Stop, 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 stop it. Stop. Stay back. After you've hit this person 3 times, as I said before, this is just to simulate a repetition of movement. My knees are flexed, my back is straight. I've hit this person 3 times. It's very possible this person may let go. If I've damaged the back of the hand, they realize, hey, this wasn't a good idea, this hurts, they pulled their hand away. I want to create space and come back to this defensive ready position to where now, if there were going to be another attack, I'm prepared for it. But let's say he holds on. So he holds on after this three hits. Stop it, stop it, stop it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to shift and put it over here on my right shoulder. Now it's very common, we're not going to want to move our body, we're going to just want to kind of move our hand and knock this off. Now my trained partner was kind enough to let go there, but if I'm really trying to do this with just my arms, I don't know if I can create enough power to do that. I don't have the leverage. So using these taijutsu fundamentals, my knees bent back straight, hands up, I'm going to move my body as a unit. So from here, my left hand is glued to my right shoulder, my right elbow is glued to my right hip, and now I'm going to move my body. So my trained partner is really holding on to my wrist. If I just step back with my leg, it's very easy to pull this out of this person's hand. We're going to the weak part of the hand. So if you're looking at a hand, when he closes his hand, there's space here, and that's really where I want to be going to, because there's bones and muscle and all kinds of other stuff here. I can't get through that. So now what I'm going to encourage everybody to do is from here, as your left hand's up here, I'm going to step back. Now I'm going to shear down with my left hand as I pull with my right arm, almost like I'm starting an old lawnmower, not the push button lawnmowers, an old lawnmower. So as I shear this down, it's very easy for me to get that off. Now I'm returning back to this defensive ready position to where if there was another attack, we're ready to move on and protect ourselves. Back off! Back off! Stop! 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 Stop it! Stop! Stay back! doing this cross-side grab pad drill, left to left or right to right. Whatever hand I'm grabbing with, I'm going to place the pad facing out on that hand. My knees are bent, back straight, hands up. My training partner's going to go through the entire kata, and this is going to keep me safe. Now, even when he's smashing down on it, I'm protected. When he's shearing it, I'm protected. So you've got that good feeling while you're training with your training partner. Our knees are bent. We're making this alive. We're making this real. I'm moving around. I'm grabbing out here. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back.
The challenge, maybe another self-defense situation that your both hands being grabbed. They want to control you. They want to control the movement. So therefore, they would like to grab your two hands. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Here, stop it, stop it. Hitting his hands, throwing him down, giving him a shove away. If I really want to, I can give him another kick to make sure he stays even farther away. Okay? So, shadow boxing with me here. We're caught. Hands are up. I'm grabbed on the wrist, smashing those thumbs together. Bending my knees, throwing these arms, knees down, come up, push away. If I want to, add in a kick to keep him away.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! And if he's really, really strong and he pulls your hands apart, then you need something else. Stop it! Back off! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Looking at these specific kata that we're working on, adding these pad drills to them, it's very important that we use the right tools to create safety and, most importantly, give this person an authentic experience. So if my training partner has his hands up, I put these boxing gloves to protect my hands for this double wrist grab defense. Now as I reach out, I'm going to grab my training partner here, but now I've got some pads here where he can smash those together pretty hard to create that experience. Now as he rolls that over, he can shift that down. And one thing that I always like to recommend is now I'm going to pick a side. Could be my left, could be my right. So as I'm grabbing, he does the entire thing. He hits, stop, stop, stop. He throws down, I shift this out for him to strike, either with a lead or a cross punch. He could use a finger jab. I could turn my hand this way for safety precautions for my training partner. I like to give them a little bit more pad, so I'll switch to the back of my hand. But it's just a key element of this. His hands are up, my knees are bent back straight. I'm alive, he's alive. I reach out, grab, he's moving. Stop, 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 stop. Throwing down. I'm just an active role in this with him. Notice how both of us finished in that Zanshin again. We're ready to train. We're training ourselves to be in a place, whether I'm holding the pads or I'm defending, to have success. Stop, 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 stay back. Calm down. Stop, 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 stay back.
Possible threat we're going to deal with is someone reaching out to grab us by the arm. They're grabbing maybe the upper arm, maybe the sleeve, in a way to take us under control. We're also going to practice that ourselves, how we can reach out and grab somebody. We might need to be the one taking control. someone is about to get into or go somewhere we don't want them to go, I can reach out and grab them and maintain control. Could also be they're reaching back to produce a weapon they're going to use on me, and so I see that happening and I want to reach out and grab that arm before it becomes a bigger problem. Stay back. Stop. 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 Stay back. So again, I have someone that, as I see him reaching, maybe he's reaching for a tool, a weapon that he's going to use against me, and I don't want that to happen. So I see that arm start to go up, and I know I'm in trouble, so I'm going to prevent it from reaching for whatever he was trying to get. Another possibility might be he's not reaching for a weapon, he's just trying to get somewhere that I don't want him to be. I'm protecting someone else, I'm protecting a location. As he's trying to get past me, I want to interrupt him by grabbing and maintaining control. That way I'm preventing him from being somewhere he doesn't need to be. So here I am, I'm trying to get somewhere where I'm safe. There's a threat here, I'm trying to get away from it, I'm trying to get somewhere where I'm in a safe position. As I go to reposition, now I'm restrained. I'm concerned about threats here, I'm concerned that if I try and resist this somehow, I'm going to make matters worse for me. So rather than resisting this, I'm going to throw my arms up. I might get clear of this, I might not, but it's going to allow me to start slamming in, disrupting. I'm using rotation of my hips. I'm using dropping my knees to create more power and stability for me. At this stage, I can throw up a knee into thigh, into groin, into whatever target presents itself to continue disruption, clear that arm if I need to, and back to a safe position. Stay back. Stay back. Stop. 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 Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stop. 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 Stay back. So as I'm caught, I throw this arm up, I strike down. From here, because of my position, I might feel comfortable repositioning my legs to get a more powerful knee. And you're going to have time in a fight. As I'm caught, I've already distracted him. I've already disrupted him with these strikes. A quick shot by lifting my leg, that would be okay, but you're going to get better results by throwing this leg back. And now you can really drive in. And you'll have time to do that. Stay back. Stop. 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 Stay back.
Whenever we're doing pad drills, it's very important. Safety is number one key. We want to make sure that everybody walks out of here healthy, happy, and safe. And number two, we want to create an experience where we're striking represents the area that we'd like to strike on the body. Take, for example, if I grab the side of this individual's body, could be the arm, could be here. When we're running the pad drill for this, our knees are flexed, my training partner's knees are flexed, and I'm going to present this out for my training partner to strike, most likely where the head would be. So my knees are bent, he throws this down 3 times. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! This creates the plane, which would be where my head would be. Second, after he's hit this target 3 times, what I'm going to do is just turn this target down. Now this is going to resemble the body, so as he lifts that knee up to strike this, he could strike it 2 times. Boom! Notice how the target is out in front of me and not close to me. If it's close to me, now I put myself in danger. And remember that key point, we want this to be safe. Especially for level 1 classes, these individuals are learning how to control their body and in time and space, and most importantly, me as a feeder, I want to create an authentic experience for them to grow in the correct way. The next piece after this individual has kneed this target, he's going to be damaging the arm. So for this to represent my arm, I'm just going to take the pad and I will turn it over so that he can step back and knock that target off. Good, just like that. So again, review, extension of my body. Remember, as I'm holding the pad, I'm the feeder. my knees are bent, my back is straight, my hands are up to protect myself. But I'm always practicing Kamae, even when I'm not doing the physical technique or the defending technique. So if we look at the whole thing in its entirety, I'm going to have Robert Hayes take us all the way through this. So, okay, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. What might this look like if we come into this encounter? I may have already put my hands up and told this person to stop and stay back. They're so angry they knock my hands down to where now they're driving into my body to take me to the floor, to where now they're crawling up on top of me to where, oh yeah, he's pinning me to the ground or just hitting me in the face, where this becomes very, very dangerous, where I do not want to be on the ground. I don't know how many other people are in this particular situation with me, and my mobility of me getting out healthy, happy, and safe is limited because I have something against my back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Now we're looking at this attack with a training partner. As I mentioned before, my hands are up. This individual is so angry, he's knocking my hands down. Now, as he starts to impede my space or try to take my space, I'm jamming out here. I'm centering my body. I'm dropping my weight like I'm sitting in a chair and extending my arms. So that's very difficult for him to get both of my legs. From here, as the fight continues, I'm driving into the back of the skull by rotating my foot and my hip, and I'm going to drive a knee right into the face structure. After that, I will push this person away and coming back to a position where if I still need to defend myself, I can. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Now let's look at a different variation. Maybe this person, they put their head on a different side, which makes it more challenging for me to create space. Now, the goal for us, number one, we're grounding ourselves. That's a key by flexing our knees, engaging our spine so it's straight up and down, and creating this extension with our arms so that we can drive in such a way to keep this person from getting both of our legs. Let's say that I didn't have a chance to, or they put their head on the opposite side. So if we look at this in detail, my left side's forward, he knocks my hands down, but now he comes to the left side to where now he's already in. I was unable to create the space that I needed to stop him. I'm still throwing my right leg back and settling in, so it's going to be harder for him to take me down. But now, monitor with my right, lifting my left elbow, I'm going to start driving right into the back of the spine. Could drive into the neck is a very effective tool, but I'm rotating from my hips and sinking as I'm driving. I could strike several times, whatever I need to do to loosen this person up. And then now my back knee, that's still got a lot of movement, it will drive into the thigh to change his balance to go away from me. I'm shoving off of him and coming back to this position again to make sure that I get home healthy, happy, and safe by creating space. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Back up! Back up! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Let's look at a really effective way to focus on all the mechanics, give the person a real life experience with a pad, and let them hit it really hard in a safe manner for this tackle defense. So if Robert has his hands up, I'm going to invite him for this particular drill to turn his hands down. Now that we normally do that in a fight scenario, But to protect my training partner's fingers, he's gonna keep them down just like this. Now, I've just grabbed a Blastmaster target here. We're gonna be knocking down on the back of the hands and then driving right into this person. That's what the first part of this pad drill is designed to represent, is us really coming in and driving this person back, just as Robert had his hands here, me knocking down and really putting my body in there to take him down. So the first thing we're gonna have this individual do is just shut this target down. He's gonna put his hands on the front of this target and make sure that this doesn't hit him in the stomach. So I knock this down, I try that, oh, right there, I've got nothing. I'm trying to push in, he's in good stable position down. I'm gonna back away and test his stability. So I back away, oh, there's Robert, he's in a good position. He didn't fall over. So that's the first component of that. We can isolate just that piece. Especially for new students, it's a great opportunity to check that out. Let's take the next step. The next step is where this person is going to be driving down on the target. So I've knocked this person's hands down, I drive out, and then now he can just start striking down on the target. Good. Excellent. Now notice how my knees are bent, back is straight, just as Robert. We're both practicing. It's always your turn.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
You may be in a rescue situation where you're surprised. You're not able to get into the position you want to be so that you can affect the leverage that you need. Let's say somebody over here that I'm protecting, my attention is there and I suddenly see somebody invading this area. I may only be able to use one hand to hold and position them. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. I need to- I'm using my gripping hand and my frame to maintain the leverage. So I'm holding on with one hand. I've got this aligned this way so that as he starts to move through me here, I can use positioning and bone structure to hold him there. If he pushes in, just by sinking, I've got him in control. Now I can talk. This other hand would be free in a real dangerous situation. Let's watch this. If I lift my elbow and I'm using my shoulder, let's see if you can push through on me there. Yeah, I'm losing this here. So again, the trick is elbow down, looking him right in the eye, telling him, hey, calm down, settle down. He pushes through me from the calm down, settle down, settle down. You'll also notice how I'm aligned here so that the weight on these legs, I'm protecting my midsection, my midline. I'm too close to be punched here, and I'm also covering over it too close for a knee to the groin there. So I want to be very careful how I'm positioning myself. I'm very aware, even though it may not look like I'm demonstrating that awareness to the person I'm holding down.
Get your hands off me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stay back.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
Of course, that single hand hold me down grab could be used against me, could be used against you. And so we'll need to know a defense. How could I find the vulnerabilities? How could I find the weaker spots? How could I find the little holes in that particular technique? So in this case, a person comes in, he's holding me down here this way, not throwing me off balance. Hasn't even really started the attack yet, other than maybe a verbal attack here. I feel his firmness. He's solid. I can't move this arm anywhere. I can't get the hand off. He's holding it down. This may even be a distraction. Maybe he's getting ready to punch, kick, do something like that. So from this position here, what I want to do is look him right in the eye, give him a command, engage his brain, make him think. I'm resisting with my words. Hey, get your hands off of me. Stop it right now. I gave him a moment. I gave him a request, a command. He didn't follow it. Get your hands off of me. Stop it. I'm going to drive a knee right up in here. I'm shielding myself this way against any kind of a possible counter on his part. And before he can come back with anything else, I'm hammering down on the side of the head, side of the ear, side of the jaw with either this hammer fist, or it could even be a open hand slap in there.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
drives the head over. I'm using my whole body. I don't want to just bang around like this, using my entire body. Stop it! Stop it! Yelling commands in there. I'm feeling where his hand is at the same time. From there, if he doesn't let go, if he doesn't fall away, and he still has me, and I feel I haven't been effective in knocking him out, as he starts to come back in here, I back up, which he expects. This opens this up to a shuto, hand edge right into the forearm and wrist. Knocking that away, and then giving him a command, hey, stay back. Now this was a surprise attack. So at this point, I want to get to safety. I don't know if he has friends or he has a weapon in his car. He's going to go get surprise attack. So I want to get out of there. There'll be other lessons we want to present where, no, I need to go follow after him and put him into an arrest or a restraint position. Or maybe I need to knock him out to keep him from hurting other people. We'll get that in the other types of lessons. This is surprise attack, and you want to get out of there so that you can get your mind cleared and know what the real situation is, what's ahead of you next.
Get your hands off me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stay back.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
Grab my training partner. He's making sure he's not moving a lot. He needs this target. Boom, immediately I'm going to deploy this target right up in front of him. He can just deploy 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Great. So key components we get a look at for this particular drill. I still have contact. So one way I like to practice as the pad holder is he's need this target. Now I'm grabbing, I'm putting a little tension on him. So if he's legs are straight, I'll move him around. Oh, so now he gets to practice. He needs this target. He's still low. Now he's really torquing. Good. He's hitting. Notice how the pad is not close to my face. That's another really important safety feature here. Because I'm putting this way out in front of my training partner to represent this individual's head. So keep that in mind. We always want the pad as far away from us as possible, and then turn at a proper angle. Rather than turning here, this wouldn't represent the head for what we're trying to accomplish in this task.
Stop it! 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 Stop it!
So any one of these pieces to this particular kata we can isolate, just like in any of our kata we can isolate. I could only focus on the knees, I could only focus on the strikes depending on belt level and skill level. Great opportunities to isolate those movements to become better at them. Let's put one more piece on this. This actually is going to represent the person's forearm that is grabbing you. So that's what this target's going to do if I have one target. So let's walk through it together. Person's knee this target, shift it out, he's hitting. Now, really important detail, I'm going to turn this target flat over and I'm putting my hand on the back of my hand for extra support. So as he steps back and knocks that away, I can still take care, just in case he really puts a lot of oomph on that. I don't want this to come back and get me. So I've got my hand here, he can step back and just knock this away. If he does just the last piece, he's knocked away. And then notice as the pad holder how I'm moving and make sure I'm taking care that my frame is in the right place so I don't damage myself.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
Another tool we might need to use is a way to gain control with both of my hands on a person or an object. So I might have someone trying to get past me here, and my first experience, my first inclination is to get my hands on him to move him back to a safe position. Possibly he's trying to just reach past me and get to somebody where I want to maybe gain control of the first thing that I can, in this case his arm. And another possibility might be there's something I need to get my hands on, an object trying to fall into my friend here that I can capture. So my hands are coming out to gain control. Could also be a threat against us, right? So someone's reaching out to gain control and show their strength by choking. How are we going to deal with that? Stay back, stay back, stop, stay back, stay back. Stop it. So from here, the hands come on me. I'm being choked. I think a natural reaction is my hands are going to come up, and as soon as I feel my air getting cut off, there might be this sense of panic and this sense of I want to hurry up and struggle and get this person off of me. What we're going to do is we're going to use that natural reaction of our hands coming up to capture right here at the wrist, hooking around, and now I'm going to use my body weight. I'm going to bend my knees, rotate my shoulders as a way to clear these from this position. You still could be in the fight, so I'm going to use that same energy, that same motion to create some distance. Stop it! Stop! Stay there! Another possibility here is that I'm being choked and my hands come up automatically. They may end up on the inside. If that happens, what I'm going to do in this case is cross my hands so that they get close to the wrist, use my palms, and just by a little pop, I can create some separation that will allow me to get free. When I add in my bending of my knees and my turning shoulders, that'll give me the separation I need to be safe. From here, I may need to end the fight, or at least create some distance and some distraction with this final shot. Stay back. Stop it! So I'm being choked, and we've gone over a way I can deal with this problem from the inside and a way I can deal with this problem from the outside as our standard-based model. Of course, there's lots of other ways, lots of other options, depending on what I feel is the most appropriate. Stay back. Stop it. Stop it. Stay back. Stop it. Stop it. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stop. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stop. Stay back.
When we're looking at this choke defense pad drill, it's imperative we want to make sure that this is going to represent the head on either side that I go to. So as we're setting the attack up, we're going to flex these. I'm coming in here, I'm driving. Now what I'm going to invite my training partner to do is he shifts back to get in defensive position. Hands are going to come up, okay? Now what he's going to do is he's going to throw both these targets down as he steps back, and I'll shift over and present a target for him. Now one key ingredient that I really like to focus on is as we're moving around, I like to have two pads on the back of my hands just to give this person an option. So if I shift to the left this time, now I'm over here, now he's got this option here to where either the left hand may be deployed or the right hand may be deployed for the defender. So if we try this a few times, Robert's just going to go through this.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
So now if we look at a variation for this choke, if we start off with a choke inside defense, I grab the training partner, he knocks my hands away from his body, and then he's coming in to touch in the head here. So with a couple pads, these are just going to represent my head, and they're also going to represent my arms. So this person can really get a realistic feeling of really smashing these targets off of them. So this is going to be a little bit different. But I'm going to come up and I'm going to place them just right up here on my training partner's shoulders here. So when he steps back, he can hit those targets, and then I can shift this forward for him to deliver a blow to it. So again, hands are here, he knocks those off, shift forward, and off to the side is very important. One more time, I come in, I grab this, he knocks those off, shifting. But it's key, as a pad hold, it's very important. If I hold him too far up, my training partner won't get an experience to knock him off. His hands will be too close to him. So you're going to cheat it a little bit just for the drill to where we're really targeting the arm. So I'm going to shift this out a little bit. So I'm still putting pressure on my training partner backwards. So now he can get his hands in, hit those targets off, and then I'll shift to the side and hit. this threat, it can also be used as a rescue. So I have my training partner here, maybe it's a dear friend of mine, or I see something happen, there's something falling, I'm out in public, and us being protectors, it's very important that we're always paying attention and being aware. I may need to move this person, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I protect myself. So as a rescue, I may grab the back of the collar, monitor the arm, but I'm going to stick my elbow right in this individual's back. The reason why I have my hand over here is to monitor, just in case. If they're surprised, they're going to naturally tense up. This elbow may come flying back, so we want to monitor this. Now, as he's stiffening up, as I said before, it's very important for me to get a low sense of gravity. By doing that, I'm going to bend my knees, drive this into my training partner's spine. Even if they are resisting, it's very easy for me to move this person because I have such a low sense of gravity.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stay back.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stay back. Now let's look at us being the defender. As I said before, I'm surprised. I'm attacked from behind. It can be very challenging to defend ourselves against that. So let's walk through this together. But as I'm grabbed and I'm pushed forward, first and foremost, most naturally, a foot's going to fall forward. As that does, we're going to bend our knees and straighten our back up to get into a position where we're able to do something. From here, if my right hand drops here, it's the closest hand to him. My left hand's going to come up here to protect my face. I'm going to start swinging this, as we like to refer to it as an elephant trunk. It's coming from my hips and I'm hitting with my knuckles. Could be into the arm, could also be into the lower rib cage as I'm striking into the rib cage here. I'll continue to strike as we move. As I do that, my knees are going to flex. I'll come up against the elbow here. I'm going to use these strong muscles, my legs, to drive this back. As I drive up, I'm going to push this into my training partner's face to drive him away. And then we're finishing off in this ready position, because we do not know if that's the end of this confrontation.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stay back. A really important detail that we can notice about this is that regardless of what way I step, the technique is still going to work. So as I'm grabbed, before I showed stepping to the outside, this time I'll be stepping to the inside. Now, I'm a little bit closer to the threat here, so this key component is my knees are bent, back is straight, hands are up. If this individual were to start to punch, I can always shift off to take his balance so that he's unable to do that. And then we're continuing to strike either into the arm or into the body. Then again, I'm bending my knees, pushing this back up into his face, and finishing off in this ready position to make sure that we go home healthy, happy, and safe.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stay back!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stay back! Let's examine a pad drill for this rear collar grab. And normally when we're teaching this, if I did not have a pad, we'd be grabbing, training partner would be shifting out, driving into the body here and throwing this arm away here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to isolate one of these key components. Very important for safety reasons that, number one, I have the padded part, not the zipper part, facing out. But this is how we're going to set it up. The training partner is facing this way. I've grabbed the pad on the outside. I'm going to press that just to shove my training partner forward here. Now I'm going to shift so that we are actually looking at each other right now. This is very important because when this arm swings, I want this arm to swing away from my body rather than toward me. Obviously, you can see if I had shoved my training partner and I move here, that's where it becomes very dangerous. So when we're teaching this, it's so important that you set up that ABC. I'm looking at my training partner in the eye. That way we both know each other is safe while we're working through this drill. So if I'm working with Robert and I shove him out, we're shifting out and turn to the target at an angle. And that's to represent how that body would look if it was off balance rather than a straight posture. This person has taken my balance and now they're able to strike me. So let's do that one more time. I've shoved out in position, we're looking. And you can see Robert's really unloading on this target. And again, safety, I'm pushing this target out as far away from my body as possible and trying to avoid getting my face or any other part of my structure in the way.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Fundamental skill that you want to develop is the ability to get somebody to move somewhere. It may even be a surprise to them. I may be rescuing them. I may be keeping them from going somewhere and getting in trouble. Or maybe I'm capturing them so that I'm rescuing somebody else in front. And I have several different options on this. The person has their back to me here. If he's making some kind of a movement forward, I could catch arms, lower my hips, turn, and then move him away this way. The key on that action there is to keep him from hitting back, capturing here, and then sinking with my body, getting him a little bit off balance there so that as he naturally goes to regain his balance, I can use that as a way to direct him where I need him to go. In that case, what I did was I brought my hands around without touching and then brought my forearms in to pin. If he's surprised and starts to resist or whatever, as I sink, I can bring my own hands together this way here. I get below because, again, he doesn't know what's happening. If he goes to resist, I can just lean, and now I've created the kind of an unbalance that I need to move him where I need to get. Get over here. Get over here.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! So when you grab like this, and then first thing you want to do is make sure that you get the balance back. Whoa, by lowering myself. And look behind. Who's this guy? The aggressor bad guy. Therefore, okay, well now you gotta do something. From here, first thing I did was lift up my knee high and then use my heel to stamp down his toes. Ooh. Now from here, I'm gonna pop my hand out and then elbow strike. Wham! And from here, lower myself again and then raise myself to do a headbutt. Push him back. Get away from the situation. Stay back. Stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
It's important that you get to play both of the roles in all of these fight scenarios. You'll want to learn what it feels like to be the aggressor, to practice that. You'll learn the strengths that an aggressor, an attacker has. You'll also learn some of the weaknesses with that. Also lets you get a chance to practice some of that character. That'll become very important in the future part of your training, where what we're really looking at is knowing how an aggressor, how an arrogant, how a cruel, how a dangerous person thinks, and then we can use our technique to counter that. So be sure, as you're practicing, that you get equal time. Defender and aggressor. Hey, get over here, get over here.
Stop it! 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 Stay back!
Of course, all these basic movements are interchangeable. You don't have to do them in that same order. Kick, elbow, headbutt. whatever's appropriate, wherever there's an opening, whatever's the best thing for you to do at that moment, use that basic technique. Yeah, get up. Oh.
Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
All right, let's look at this two-hand rear grab to the shoulder. So individual, I'm grabbing this person like this, shoving them forward, where this person will throw this arm out, drive back into me here, and then spin and shove me away here like that. Now let's put a pad in here to where now I'm shoving my training partner, and I'm gonna shift to the side as I project this out. And now this individual can reach out and strike back 3 times. That's it. Good. Isolating this movement, and he can shove this away. And the whole time, I'm at a safe place. I'm outside of where this strike is going to be. In addition to that, one thing that I like to mention, I like to teach this where I'm far away from the target to new individuals that are coming into the school so they feel very safe. And also, there's a lot of give here, so their arms can give way. The more advanced, I like to introduce this to our more advanced students. And as I push this person here, I'll press this against my chest. As he elbows back, it gives me an opportunity to kind of receive that, okay? Now, he may only do 1 strike, but number 1, I've moved in, he's hit me, I can kind of receive that. Now he can shift forward, oh yeah, and I can practice this receiving skill as this individual drives back, even for the shove. So if Robert was to do the entire thing, I come in, I shove, and he's hit. That's it. See, I'm still talking here, and he's hitting me. Oh, yeah, that's the spirit. And then that way, I get to keep moving, keep practicing, and now I'm working on some of my ukeme while doing pad drills.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back.
Here's an important technique, how I might take control of somebody, either to rescue them or keep them from doing some harm, in a situation where I wouldn't be justified or it wouldn't be reasonable for me to use strikes or any kind of damaging type of a thing. So I might move in from behind, slip my hand in here. I'm going to adjust the shoulder up to where he's a little bit off balance. As he goes to tighten and get back in control, that keeps him off balance and allows me to very easily move him to where he needs to go. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Get out! This technique, of course, could be used against us. I'm moving around. It's a surprise attack from behind. I struggle to get back into control, but his strength and his alignment doesn't let me do that. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I suddenly, after pushing down, reach way up. It's very hard for him to keep control and hold on that. As I'm coming over here, I know he's going to come back with something. Looks like I'm caving in, but I'm ready here to hit the knee, the shin, stamp down on the instep this way, throw some kind of a kick from there. I disappear by moving over to the side, and at the same time, I can apply this punch into the ribs, hit low, or even an open hand strike in there that way. If he's still in the fight, I look like I cave in. I'm bringing my hands up here. I can rise up and jam underneath the jaw to knock him back and away so I can make my escape. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
All of these techniques we're sharing are models of how you might respond effectively to a surprise attack. So we wouldn't necessarily memorize them or think of them as things. For instance, if I'm grabbed here, I might start with a kick first, roll my hand, get out of there and come in with that hit. That might be the most reasonable thing. Could look like this. I'm captured. I've lost my balance. I know there's no drive-through from this kick other than just sort of pecking at him here. I throw this hand up, and from this position, I'm not ready to kick. I'm not in the right kick position. I may just skip the kick and go right to the punch as he lunges in to hit me from there. I could always throw a kick in there as a final action to keep him from being able to chase me as I get out of there and get to where there's some kind of sanctuary. Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Get out! Come on, look. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!
One thing I like to do is I'll just place this target up here to represent me grabbing his arm. As my training partner bends his knees and throws this in a circle, he brings it back to cover himself. And then now I actually have put a pad on my foot, so now he can pick this foot up, striking down on the target. Leaving this here, he'll step behind and strike through. So if we do this a few times, again, it's very important. I want to be at a safe distance. It would be different if I was physically grabbing him. I would be here. But for our protection, I'm shifting out to the side. So he throws that in a circle, leave there stomping and hitting into the target. Notice how I'm rotating. Very important. I'm rotating to protect my knees on the strike. So he's throwing this up, stomp. He rotates, I rotate, and again, I get to practice my Kamae and be able to move so I'm safe and I create this great experience with a pad for my training partner.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stay back!